The Red Sox trail the Yankees by 4.5 games, but they have a 3-game lead over the Tampa Bay Rays as we play Game 2 of a 4-game series between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox Baseball. Well, if the Red Sox are going to get this done and punch their ticket to the postseason, they need Josh Beckett to be back and healthy. Well, Beckett is back tonight. How healthy he is, we'll find out tonight. Of course, it's been 11 days since we last saw Josh Beckett on the mound in Toronto. After striking out 6 batters in just 3 1/3 innings, Beckett would injure his ankle in a pitch to the Jays' third baseman, Brett Laurie. He would leave the game with a score tied at 0. The Sox ended up dropping that game 1-0 in 11 innings that day, and since that game, Sox starters are just 2-4 in 9 starts. We welcome in Jerry Remy, and Jerry, certainly it's been an amazing year for Josh Beckett, a great year this year, and even better against Tampa Bay.
Well, he has had phenomenal numbers against the Tampa Bay Rays so far this season. In 2 starts against Tampa Bay, look at these incredible numbers. An ERA of 0. In 17 innings, he's only given up 2 hits, no walks, 12 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .038 in his career against the Rays, 8-4 with a 2.94 ERA. Now, the question tonight, obviously, is the ankle of Josh Beckett. How is that going to respond? He's done everything on the side. He's thrown on the side. He's thrown off the mound. Everything appears to be okay for the go in the game tonight. We'll have to see as time goes on if that ankle has any issues at all with Josh Beckett. If not, I would expect him to pitch another very good game against the Tampa Bay Rays.
The Red Sox need to turn it around. It's a beautiful night in Boston as the sun sets. We're back with more after this. And the Tampa Bay Rays. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Well, tonight, Josh Beckett on the hill for the Red Sox. And the other side, it is James Shields. He's had a terrific year. 11 complete games on the season, and he's a 15-game winner. One place that he has not enjoyed success, however, is right here. Fenway Park has been a tough place for James Shields. He's 7-11 all-time against the Red Sox, but here at Fenway, just 1-8 in 9 starts. He dropped his first 6 starts at Fenway Park, finally picking up his first win last year. The 6.99 earned run average is the highest he's had at any American League ballpark. This season, he pitched a complete game 3-hitter in his only appearance at Fenway, but suffered a loss against John Lester in Boston in a 3-1 victory. All we've talked about lately is injuries. With more, here's Heidi Watney.
Well, Don, Kevin Youkilis is not in the lineup today, and Terry Francona said he won't be in there tomorrow either. Youkilis is dealing with 2 very painful injuries. He has bursitis in his left hip. He also has a sports hernia on the left side. Terry Francona talked about it today.
He's pretty sore. I think we kind of knew that last night. He's certainly not going to play tonight. And He won't play tomorrow. We're going to have to let this thing calm down a little bit, and then we'll go from there. I know that's probably not a lot of news, but that's where we are with him. So how much, when we get out of him, will be determined by how quickly he recovers and how good he feels. Because last night, he didn't feel very good, and I think it was pretty obvious.
Youkilis has already announced his plans to have surgery to repair the sports hernia at the end of the season. Francona is hoping that a couple of days rest will do him some good. Now, the team doctors said he cannot hurt himself anymore by playing. They're hoping that with rest he can calm down some of the inflammation to a point where he can tolerate the pain and be productive for the team. Don?
This big series is getting ready for Game 2. We're back at Fenway Park with the first pitch after this.
On Nesson is brought to you by Kia, AT&T, your New England Subaru dealers, Dunkin' Donuts, Mazda, and by Southwest Airlines. Hey, good evening once again, everybody. Welcome back to Fenway Park as tonight's aerial coverage is provided by DirecTV. This season, NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge when you switch. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Well, the Red Sox are taking the field tonight, so as they do, let's check out the visiting Tampa Bay Rays starting 9. Desmond Jennings is in left field. B.J. Upton in center. Evan Longoria at third base, bats third with Casey Kochman at first base in the cleanup spot. Johnny Damon is the DH. Ben Zobrist at second base, bats sixth. Matt Joyce in right, bats seventh. John Chaso does the catching, bats eighth. And Reed Brignac is at shortstop. He bats ninth. The starting pitcher is brought to you by McDonald's, and a welcome sight to see Josh Beckett back on the mound. As the Red Sox get his 28th start tonight, he is 12-5 coming in with a 2.49 earned run average, 173 and 2/3 innings. He's got 155 strikeouts, and opponents hitting at 203 against Beckett. We've not seen him now in the last 11 days, but he went 3 2/3 before walking off the mound in Toronto. 3 hits and no runs. Walked a batter, struck out 6, but back and ready to go tonight.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Jordan's Furniture. They are third in the American League. Mike Aviles will be at third base. Marco Scudero, the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. And Adrian Gonzalez, the first baseman. Left to right, Kyle Crawford, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Josh Reddick. And Jason Veritek doing the catching for Josh Beckett.
Umpiring crew tonight, Hunter Whittlestead is the home plate umpire with Brian Knight at first base. Jerry Lane, who's the crew chief, is at second base. And Bob Davidson, who had the plate last night, is at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
60 degrees, and it feels like that temperature is dropping quickly as the night goes on. Breeze from left to right at 10 miles per hour, and partly cloudy, the forecast for the remainder of the night. As Beckett is ready to work, Desmond Jennings on the right side, and a bunt right out of the gate. Beckett's got to run over, and he flips it wide of the bag at first. Jennings is headed towards second base, and he will get there to second. So they test Beckett right out of the gate with a bunt, and getting on is Jennings. How about that?
Smart play by Desmond Jennings right there. You've got a pitcher coming off an ankle injury. He's going to test him right away with a bunt. Bunt down the first base line. Beckett has to pop off the mound. The underhand flip to first base is going to get by Gonzalez. So it's going to be a base hit on the bunt and an error on Josh Beckett to allow Desmond Jennings to get to second base.
So Jennings at second base to get this game started. B.J. Upton, the batter, in on the right side. He's trying to make a statement early in this game as B.J. Upton checks in, hitting at .236 with 21 homers, 74 runs batted in, and he pops it up, sending Gonzalez into foul ground. Adrian is there, and he makes the catch with the first out. Who is hot and who's not entering tonight? B.J. Upton, who just fouled out, is on the top of the hot list with Casey Kochman and Evan Longoria. Desmond Jennings, who had a bunt single to begin this inning, is not. Reed Brignac and Matt Joyce. 72 degrees is the average.
And B.J. Upton has been especially hot against the Boston Red Sox.
He is out number one here, unable to move the runner along, as Evan Longoria stands in on the right side. Longoria starting the night hitting at .240. It is 27th home run of the year here last night. 88 runs batted in for Longoria. Longoria, of course, with a 3-run home run in last night's game.
Remember, the ankle that Beckett hurt was the right ankle. That's the push-off ankle, pushing off from the rubber.
Breaking ball missing, and it is 1-1. Does not appear to have any ill effects after covering that bunt. Got off the mound fairly well to get to the ball. So certainly a good sign there. He's not limping after having to chase after that ball down the first base line. One coming to Longoria. And time called late.
Dustin Pedroia playing very close to second base, trying to hold Desmond Jennings close. Jennings with 15 steals on the season.
A lot of teams have been pitching around Longoria this season. He's had 42 walks in 59 games since the All-Star break. As it's in there for a strike, as to the curveball goes back at 1-2. Look at the average for Longoria, just at .240, but you get a lot of walks mixed in there, and you have the power numbers: 27 homers, 88 runs batted in. Longoria, who missed time in the DL earlier this season, missing 29 games. Strained left oblique. The 1-2 pitch from Beckett. Breaking ball again, and he's fouled it off this time. 1-2.
Longoria in his career against Josh Beckett, .286 batting average with 1 home run. Bunch of breaking balls from Beckett in this at bat against Longoria, the curveball.
Casey Kochman has moved up in this new look lineup now into the cleanup spot for Joe Madden. It's high and it's 2-2. Well, the Rays on September the 2nd were 9 games out of a playoff spot. And now much closer. They are just 3 games back of the Red Sox with 3 to play, including tonight in this series. Big win last night for the Rays and trying to jump out on top tonight here in the first. Beckett with the 2-2. In the air to left field, struck well. Carl Crawford going back at the wall. That ball is off the top of the monster. No, it's gone. Home run, a 2-run shot. As Longoria stops, but he'll get the good news. He can continue on. The umpires say home run. So a 2-run shot. As Evan Longoria had a home run last night, he's got a home run tonight, his 28th of the year. And the Rays are out to a 2-0 advantage. Terry Francona obviously will argue this. It came off strangely, but it did appear to be a home run.
Yeah, it did seem like it was on top of the wall. We'll get another look here on replay. Yes, on top of the wall and then bounced back into the field of play. So if that's reviewed, I'm sure it will go as a home run for Evan Longoria.
Hit that ledge area and came right back down again. Yeah, they are going to get together and check it out. As Jerry Lane is the crew chief. Yeah, they're going to go down underneath and check it out.
Well, we've seen that already a couple of times on this homestand.
Tuesday night was the last time we saw it, and I think, you think about this situation out there in left, that's normally the one that they review here at Fenway Park.
The most, absolutely.
We've only had one down the right field line. As another look at Longoria is what we think is a home run.
Went down, got a curveball from Josh Beckett that time, and up over the fence, right on top of the ledge, and bounces back on the field. Longoria had stopped at second base. He thought it might have been a double. That hit on top of the wall, but you can see clearly right there that's going to be called a home run.
So the umpires will check it out and take a look, and they will be headed back out. And Jerry, this is not what the Red Sox needed should the news be a 2-0 advantage for the Rays.
Exactly right. You're facing James Shields tonight, who's been very tough against the Red Sox. And the Rays again jumping out in front in this ball game. It seems like the Red Sox have been playing from behind an awful lot.
Beckett allowed to take some warm-up tosses here as they continue to review this. Another look here at hitting the ledge and coming back.
That shot right there is actually from the blimp. But I think every shot that we have shown you so far clearly shows that it's a home run.
So Jerry Lane and crew continue to check it out as Terry Francona waits. Evan Longoria waits. Bunt single for Desmond Jennings to begin the inning. The miscue on the throw by Beckett got him to second base. He got B.J. Upton to foul out. Then Evan Longoria has just hit a 2-run home run that is under review. Well, the Rays have won 6 straight games against the Red Sox, outscoring them 41-12, and lead the season series 10-5 this year between the two teams. And the Rays trying to make it 7 in a row here tonight. Here come the umpires, led by Jerry Lane.
They'll make the call about 3 or 4 steps out of the dugout.
We'll let the crew chief do it. It is a home run. So the 2-run shot has Tampa Bay on top 2-0. Evan Longoria with his 28th home run of the year.
Also with those 2 RBIs, picks up his 89th and 90th of the season.
First baseman
So a 3-minute wait while they reviewed it, and it is 2-0 Tampa Bay. Casey Kochman about to stand in. Kochman hitting at .312 on the year with 10 home runs, 48 runs batted in. Four of the 10 home runs Kochman has had this year have come against the Red Sox, including his line drive 2-run shot in last night's game. Ended up in the bullpen. In fact, his 9 career home runs against the Red Sox, most he's had against any opponent, and of course is a member of the Red Sox as well. 2-0 pitch in there for a strike, and it's 2-1.
Well, the Rays came into this series 7th in the American League in home runs hit, but they have been hitting them in this series so far.
Strange swing by Kochman, kind of changed his mind in the middle, and the count evens at 2-2.
Yeah, fooled that time on the cut fastball from Beckett. Every fastball he's thrown has been the straight fastball until this last pitch.
Down low, full count now to Casey Kochman. Beckett has thrown 13 first inning pitches so far. Had a bit of a delay while they checked out the home run situation. Johnny Damon waits on deck, batting out of the number 5 spot tonight for the Rays. There's Ben Zobrist waiting behind Damon. Beckett ready with a 3-2 pitch. Solidly hit through the right side into right field, a base hit. Over to play it is Reddick, but Casey Kochman has got a single here as the inning continues for the Rays.
Well, a bunt base hit, a home run, now a hard ground ball single by Casey Kochman. Fastball that stays inside part of the plate, and Kochman pulling it between first and second, actually by the dive of Adrian Gonzalez.
So 1 out, 1 on for Johnny Damon. Damon at .260, 14 home runs, 63 runs batted in. Damon takes strike 1. Now for Johnny Damon, it's 75 degrees. It's had over the average of 72. He's 5 for 16 though in the last 5 games.
That's after being in a prolonged slump. First changeup of the game there by Josh Beckett, miss outside.
Well, the last 6 games Damon has played here at Fenway Park, he is 10 for 22 with 3 extra base hits, 5 RBIs. 307 lifetime hitter here at Fenway, whether it's in a Red Sox uniform or as an opponent coming in. Runner goes as Damon takes the pitch, a bobble for Varitek, and stealing second base is Casey Kochman.
Kochman gets a good jump, plus gets the benefit of the changeup from Josh Beckett on the transfer. The ball dropped by Jason Varitek. No throw to second base. Rays third in the American League in steals behind Kansas City and New York.
Now Damon grounds one right side. Pedroia's got it. Fires to first for the out as Kochman takes third base with now 2 down. So 2 away. Ben Zobrist coming up. His second baseman hitting at .271, 15 homers and 82 runs batted in. He was 1 for 3 in the game last night with a walk and a run scored. checked his swinging a ball in the dirt. Corralled by Varitek with Kochman just 90 feet away.
Beckett starts him off with a breaking ball. Nice play by Jason Varitek to get down, block the ball, keep the man at third base. Zobrist in his career 1 for 16 against Beckett.
And Beckett coming in had pitched 17 scoreless innings against the Rays this season, spanning 2 starts, June 15th and July 17th. 9 innings in the first game, 8 innings in the second, and both those contests were at the Trop. And each start allowed just 1 hit and an infield single. And there's the pitch in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. He's given up 2 runs here in the first on a total of 3 hits. Evan Longoria's 2-run home run. Zobrist hits it down the line. Nice play by Gonzalez. He will win the foot race to the bag as he tags the bag. Nice play by Adrian to end the inning. But a 2-run shot for Evan Longoria has the Rays on top 2-0. Well, the Rays get 2 runs in the top of the first inning. Red Sox coming up in the bottom of the first inning. Red Sox starting lineup is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off in center field with Dustin Pedroia at second base. Adrian Gonzalez at first base bats third. It's David Ortiz at DH. Josh Reddick is in right field. Marco Scutaro, the shortstop, bats sixth. Carl Crawford in left. Jason Varitek doing the catching, batting eighth. And Mike Aviles at third base in the absence of Kevin Youkilis. On the mound for the Rays, James Shields, his 31st start of the year. He's had 11 complete games on the season and is 15-10. First pitch to Ellsbury is in there for strike 1. Shields last time out against the Red Sox went 8 1/3 to grab a win against Boston. That was at the Trop. They gave up just 7 hits and only 1 run. We highlighted the numbers and problems for Shields here at Fenway Park. In the open tonight, just 1-8 in his career here with a 6.99 ERA. And Red Sox hope that he continues to struggle here at Fenway as they come to bat here already, trailing 2-0 in the contest. Ellsbury at .318, 27 homers, 94 runs batted in. Laced foul down the right field line into the seats.
That was the cut fastball right there from Shields. He'll throw the fastball, the cut fastball, the breaking ball, and the changeup. That time Ellsbury out in front of the cutter and pulls it foul. And Shields up on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
1-2 pitch to Ellsbury is to left. Jennings on the move, won't get there. Gets in for a hit. One hops the wall as Ellsbury's into second base. Starting a new streak now. He's got a double to begin things here tonight in the bottom of the first inning.
A changeup that stayed up away from Jacoby Ellsbury, and he just kind of serves it out in the left field for the base hit. There's the changeup off the outside part of the plate. Ellsbury to the opposite field, so the leadoff double for Jacoby here in the bottom of the first inning.
43 of them on the year now for Ellsbury. He is safe at second, safe and secure. New York life. So Ellsbury in scoring position to get it started here in the bottom of the first inning. There's Dustin Pedroia, 298, 20 homers and 82 runs batted in. Grabs the attention of the corner infielders as he shows bunt, pulls back, takes ball 1. Fouled off to the right, and it is 1-1. This is the 21st career start for James Shields against the Red Sox, 5th this year. And overall, he is 7-11 with a 4.58 earned run average. And this season, 2-2, the 2.87. On the ground, down the line, it's a fair ball. Kicks off the boxes. Ellsbury's going to try and score. He will. And the Red Sox are on the board. Quick answer here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, in his career, Dustin Pedroia over 300 against James Shields. He gets a curveball that time and takes it right down the third base line. Breaking ball supposed to be away. It stays inside part of the plate and right down the third base line, right over the bag for Dustin Pedroia. Picks up his 83rd RBI of the season.
So Pedroia at first base, still nobody out. Adrian Gonzalez, a batter. Checks in at 338, 26 homers, 111 runs batted in. As he takes ball 1 outside. Leads the majors with that 338 average. Most hits with 198. Total bases 325 on top in that category as well. Went around according to Hunter Wintelstead, and the count is 1-1. Numbers for Adrian against James Shields includes a home run. Breaking ball fouled off, and it's 1-2.
The Tampa Bay defense is the best in the American League. They're number 1. Evan Longoria at third base, Reed Brignac, the shortstop, Ben Zobrist at second, and Casey Kochman, the first baseman, left to right, Jennings, Upton, and Joyce, and John Jaso doing the catching for Shields.
Ball and 2 strikes to Adrian Gonzalez. And a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, and they ring him up. Bob Davidson said he offered. And that is out number 1. As Gonzalez takes a look back at Davidson and shakes his head.
Curveball here from James Shields. Gonzalez thought he had checked his swing. Bob Davidson says no down at third base. Take a look from the side. Very, very close.
So 1 down. Dustin Pedroia is still at first base, and here's David Ortiz. Missed a couple of games in this homestand with back spasms. David in the cleanup spot tonight. In the dirt, gets away, and Pedroia will head to second base. Destin gets there and rounds it.
Cut fastball directly down in the dirt, bounces off the shoulder of John Jaso. And Pedroia gets in the scoring position.
A wild pitch charged to Shields. So 1 out, Pedroia in scoring position, and a 1-0 that misses to Ortiz, 2-0. Part of our key matchup brought to you by New England Honda dealers. 13 for 43 at 302. Big Papi against Shields. Ortiz got on a couple times last night, one of the few Red Sox to enjoy success. Last night's game, Big Papi 2 for 2 with a walk, was on base 3 times.
They have the green light here, 3-0.
He's swinging away and he jolts it to deep left field. That ball is up high off the wall. Around from second comes Pedroia. He'll score. And indeed, a green light for Big Papi, who ties the game with a wall ball single to left field.
Now that's the stroke you like to see Ortiz have. That line drive stroke to the opposite field. A little bit higher. He's got himself a home run, but nevertheless, off the top of the wall. Ties the ball game at 2. Ortiz picks up his 93rd RBI of the season.
So just like that, it is a 2-2 game. And now Josh Reddick will drive this to center. B.J. Upton moves over and makes the catch for the second out of the inning, as Ortiz is back to the bag at first, 2 down. So Beckett gives up 2 in the first. Shields has given up 2 in the first so far. And Marco Scudero is coming up. Shields wants a new baseball. Marco Scudero at 294, 6 homers, 49 runs batted in. Moving up to the 6th spot in the Red Sox order. His latest production has got his average up there again. In September, he's hitting at 444. As the pitch misses for ball 1. So you may guess with a 444 September that his temperature gauge would be good, and it is. Highest on the Red Sox, currently at 96 degrees. And his ball 2, 2-0.
Now Shields looks more uncomfortable in the first inning tonight than he did any time in the last start against the Red Sox.
That's in there for a strike, and it's 2-1 now to Marco Scudero. The numbers have been incredible for Shields, and really what is a lost art in the majors these days, the complete game, and to think that he's at 11 on the season. He expects to go all the way every time he takes the hill. This is popped up. Down from first comes Kochman. He's calling and catching the final out of the first inning, but the Red Sox bounce back nicely and tie this game 2-2. to you in part by Eastern Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox television network. Commitment, compassion, and love of the game. Find out what we're made of at easternbank.com. Well, the Rays scored twice in the first. Red Sox bounce right back with 2 of their own. We're tied at 2 as we enter the top of the second inning. As Jacoby Ellsbury get it all started with a double. There's the pitch in there for strike 1 to Matt Joyce. Bottom third of the Rays order here in the second inning. Joyce, Jaso, and Brignac. Joyce, the right fielder, at 277, 18 homers, 66 runs batted in for the Rays. All eyes on Josh Beckett tonight as he returns to the mound, and so far has shown no ill effects. No hobbling around and no problem pushing off, it appears. Popped up. Down from first comes Adrian Gonzalez, and he'll make the catch. With the Patriots season underway and the Bruins soon to follow, now's the time to save your seat at Gillette Stadium and TD Garden. Visit aceticket.com right now to get great seats to upcoming Bruins and Patriots games. 1 out in the second inning, and John Jaso is coming up. Jaso at 226, 5 homers and 27 runs batted in. He has hit safely in each of his first career 7 games here at Fenway Park. Temperature gauge for Jaso coming into tonight's action. His first at bat of the night, 75 degrees, 5 for his last 17. Popped up, foul ground. That'll get back and out of play into the seats.
Looks like a fall crowd here tonight, doesn't it? A lot of people with jackets on, sweatshirts, hats.
It's got a playoff feel to it with the Rays in town and standings where they are, and it has definitely cooled off here at Fenway Park.
Even scarves. That's Burberry, I think.
Foul tip. So home plate umpire Hunter Wintelstead that time.
Looks like it got him right underneath the neck or on the shoulder.
Fouled off, hangs at 1-2. Brignac waiting on deck. Rays batting here in the second inning in a 2-2 game. Runs outside and evens at 2-2. And Beckett this year in his 3rd career All-Star team. He's there in 07 and 09 with the Red Sox. And he's had a very good year this year, coming in at 12-5 in tonight's action. 2.49 earned run average. Pitch fouled off, and it hangs at 2-2. And Dustin McGowan matched up against CC Sabathia tonight on the Ace Ticket scoreboard, and Blue Jays out to a 1-0 advantage. 2-2 pitch missing, and it's a full count now to John Jaso. Beckett has retired the last 3 batters he's faced. He got the last 2 in the first, and first out here the second inning. Beckett shaking off a lot of Veritek selections here and working very deliberately.
He wants the fastball inside.
Three-two pitch. This one fouled away.
Didn't quite get it where he wanted it. He wanted that 2-seamer inside that moves the lefty back off the plate and picks up the corner. This ball's going to end up out over the plate away. So it didn't have the effect that Josh Beckett wanted on that pitch. Three-two changeup.
Yeah, he strikes out Jaso with it. Nicely done for a strikeout for Josh Beckett of the night.
No shaking off that time. He wanted to throw that changeup on the 3-2 count. Both he and Veritek, they do. And they get the swing out of Jaso on a pitch that's probably out of the strike zone.
2 down, 4 in a row, retired by Beckett. And here is Reed Brignac. 196, the home run, 14 runs batted in for Brignac. It was strike one. On the ground towards Pedroia at second base. Josh Beckett enjoys a 1-2-3 second inning. Inning and a half done from Fenway. Game tied 2-2. Proud sponsor of the Red Sox Foundation, helping to address health needs in our communities. Bottom of the second inning, game tied 2-2. Former Ray Carl Crawford to lead it off here. Then Jason Varitek, Mike Aviles. 249, 11 homers, 53 runs batted in. First season in a Red Sox uniform. Red Sox getting 2 runs in the first. RBIs for Pedroia and Ortiz. 2-0 pitch inside, 3-0. Big Papi with his single that scored Pedroia, which tied the game 2-2. Crawford will take the walk on 4 pitches. Down to first base. First walk given up by Shields of his outing. Here is Jason Varitek. 226, 11 home runs, 34 runs batted in.
Now, Terry Francona was talking before the game how tough it is to steal against James Shields. Controls the running game very well. We'll see if Crawford tests him and tries to get in a scoring position with the stolen base. Varitek also a guy that Francona will hit and run with.
Varitek takes ball 1. Jason has been catching Josh Beckett all year on a regular basis. He was 0 for 3 in the Blue Jays series. Had last night off for a quiet road trip, in which he went just 1 for 10. And Shields, who walked Crawford on 4 pitches, is now falling behind Varitek 2-0.
That time he tried the changeup, couldn't get a strike with it.
Another throw over a little closer, but Crawford back to the bag.
Quick feet that time from James Shields on that pickoff attempt at first base.
The opposing runners are just 1 for 6 against Shields, and he almost just picked off Crawford.
Once again, Crawford has to dive back this time to the bag and gets that hand into the outfield side of the bag. Make that tag just a little bit longer.
Another throw, and all of these have been relatively close, and each time having to dive back. Outside ball 3, 3-0. Finally throwing a pitch, and it misses again. It's 7 straight balls for Shields to begin things here in the second inning. Look of concern from Jim Hickey, the pitching coach. Varitek will take the strike, and it is 3-1.
Now see right here, if Crawford takes off on the 3-1 pitch, it'd make it more of a run and hit situation.
Veritek takes another strike. He was headed to first base at the late strike call from Hunter Wintelstead.
Veritek taking strike 2. Let's take a look at Amica. Yes, good pitch. Everything outside so far to Jason Veritek in this at bat.
There goes Crawford as Veritek fouls it off. First time Crawford has tried to steal here. One on the 3-2 pitch.
3-2, of course, you don't get as good a jump. You're just making sure that pitcher throws the ball to home plate.
Crawford off as Veritek fouls it off again. In between diving back to the bag several times and now trying to steal on 2 occasions, Crawford getting a lot of work over there at first base. The 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Jason Veritek. Still nobody out here in the 2nd inning. Crawford off. Veritek chops it foul again.
Now Veritek may want to step out of that box for a little while, give Crawford a little time to regain his breath after taking off so many times at first base.
Ninth pitch of the at bat coming up here for Jason Veritek. Another check, and Crawford is back. Tried to cross over to get back this time and barely made it back.
And almost fell off the first base bag. Hits the bag and bounces and almost came off it. Had to really fall down to keep contact with that first base bag.
Ball 4, and Veritek finally gets the walk. 2 on, nobody out as we send it down to Heidi.
Well done. James Shields is looking for his 5th straight win tonight. Over his last 4 starts heading into tonight, he's 4-0 with a 0.79 ERA. And Terry Francona was asked before the game, what has made Shields so good over this stretch?
He's got a little bit of shill anymore. He wants to finish what he starts, which is a very good quality. And to do that, you got to be really good. He cuts his fastball. He's got a very good changeup. Competes. Hard to run on him. Doesn't walk a lot of people. There's just named about 5 things.
That manager interview brought to you by Bigelow Tea, Terry Francona's green tea of choice. Now, Shields leads the majors with 11 complete games this season, but he has struggled at Fenway. In his career, he's 1-8 lifetime at Fenway in 9 starts with a 6.99 ERA. Don?
All right, Heidi, thanks very much. First and second, nobody out. Mike Avila's showing bunt, and it is a breaking ball. It's in there for a strike.
Yeah, the Red Sox, you don't bunt very much. Have their number 9 hitter at the plate, and early in the ball game, you'd love to get a couple of run lead here, so they had Avila squaring around on the first pitch. Problem was it was a breaking ball.
Breaking ball again, but he gets the bunt down. Longoria's going to go to second for 1, on to first, and it's a double play. The worst case scenario right there, unbelievably. And Avilas barking out at Brian Knight, and this will bring out Terry Francona. Bang, bang play at first. Nice play by Longoria.
A very heads-up play by Evan Longoria at third base. He knew that ball was bunted hard, and he's able to play it on 1 bounce. So he knows he's going to get a chance at second base to get that out. And then they turn over the double play. Very close play at first base, but it goes in the favor of the Rays. 2 huge outs on a bunt play.
Well, Zobrist covering the bag, the second baseman. That goes 5 to 6 to 4 on the double play. Crawford at third base, and there is strike one to Jacoby Ellsbury.
If that bunt stays on the ground and is not lifted in the air, there's no way Longoria can go to second base. With it bunted in the air, one bounce to him, it made him an easy play for him to go to second base to get the lead man.
Ellsbury sprays it foul, and it is 0-2.
You see the bunt, kind of a semi-line drive that just bounces right up into the glove to Longoria, and that makes it very easy for him to go in that direction to turn over the double play.
So in a foul tip, Ellsbury staying alive, still 0-2. Jacoby doubled in the first inning. Well, after the double for Ellsbury in the first inning, he's now up to 95 degrees. This is back to the mound, and Shields a flip to first, and that will end the inning. Started as a promising inning with back-to-back walks. Red Sox get nothing. Game still tied at 2. The excitement of hockey returns to Fenway Park with an outdoor men's college hockey doubleheader. Don't miss the four-way border war between 4 state schools as Vermont battles UMass. The University of New Hampshire will take on the University of Maine. Tickets are on sale now. Get your tickets at redsox.com/frozenfenway. Pitch poured in there to Desmond Jennings from Josh Beckett as we start the third inning from Fenway Park. Desmond Jennings, leadoff hitter for the Rays. He had a bunt single, got the second on an error. Throwing error from Beckett in the first. And this time Beckett's ahead 0-2. And back in the first inning, first batter after Beckett has been on the shelf for 11 days with the ankle problem, and the Rays trying to get to him right away. Beckett threw it away, but no ill effects at all so far for Beckett in that ankle, at least visibly. As he works into the third inning, just fresh off a 1-2-3 second inning, and he's now retired 5 Rays in a row. Breaking ball is back up the middle as Pedroia slides to get it. His throw is late. Too much speed for Desmond Jennings.
And once Pedroia had to go into a slide to make that catch, it was not going to be possible at first base. Too far of a throw from that point right there with Jennings' speed going down the line. Nice effort by Dustin Pedroia, spinning around counterclockwise that time. Or would that be clockwise?
No, I think you had it right.
Counterclockwise. No, actually, that was clockwise.
We'll have to see it again.
Believe me when I'm telling you. It was,
all right, we'll go with it.
It was clockwise.
Jennings at first base, nobody out. And B.J. Upton. I only use that when a guy's walking around the mound. It's easier to figure out because it looks like a clock.
Right.
You know, if you look at it from up here.
This you have to be a lot quicker with.
Yes. It's a much smaller space. Upton showing bunt, pulls back and takes a pitch high.
Now you see what both managers think about the opposing pitchers in this ball game and what kind of game they expect. Both attempting bunts early in the ball game. The Red Sox almost never do that at that stage of a game, trying a bunt. Didn't work out well. Upton squaring around.
Fouled off, kind of got jammed, and it is 1-1 to B.J. Upton. The Rays have 4 hits off Josh Beckett so far in the game, and 3 of those 4 hits came as part of their 2-run first inning. Big blast, if you're just joining us, the 2-run home run for Evan Longoria in the first inning. There is Longoria, who waits on deck here in the 3rd inning. Go to first, and back is Jennings.
Jennings getting the same type of attention and a very big lead over there at first base that Kyle Crawford got.
There goes Jennings at first as Upton fouls it off. Well, for the best sports talk in the morning, there is no better tandem than Dennis and Callahan, now on 93.7 FM. It all begins weekday mornings at 6 across the WEEI Sports Radio Network and right here on Nesson. Desmond Jennings with a leadoff single here in the 3rd inning in the infield. He's at first base with nobody out. B.J. Upton with a count of 2-2. In the dirt outside, and it is a full count, 3-2 now.
Jennings probably be going at first base on this 3-2 count. Nobody out. Even though B.J. Upton does strike out a lot, 152 times this season.
Robert Andino and J.J. Hardy have RBIs that have the Orioles on top of the Angels 2-0. We're in the top of the 4th inning at Camden Yards in Baltimore. There goes Jennings at first as that's strike 3. The throw is high and sails into center field. So Jennings will get up and head for third base, and he will get there. So it'll be a stolen base and an error. Second miscue of the game for the Red Sox, and now Jennings at third base.
Jennings picks up his 16th steal of the season, and then the overthrow by Jason Varitek. It's going to go up over the head of Dustin Pedroia. A pop-up and quick move to third base by Desmond Jennings. As he was into his head-first slide, he was looking toward the outfield to see if the ball got by. Picked that up on his own and moved to third base.
So Upton did strike out. Second strikeout for Beckett. Infield in all the way around now for Boston as Evan Longoria has a chance to put the Rays on top here in the top of the third. And it's ball one. Good sprawling play to his right for Jason Varitek. Swing and a miss. And dancing down that line at third base is Jennings. It's time now for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. And Evan Longoria in the first inning with a 2-run home run to left field off Beckett, which at the time put the Rays on top 2-0. It was reviewed and ruled a home run. Clearly off the shelf up there and gone for Longoria. Frostbrewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Ball and a strike this time to Longoria as he bats in the third. And a check swing foul. Grabs the bat, and it's 1-2 now to Longoria. On deck, Casey Kochman. One out here in the third inning. Jennings, an infield hit, got on, stole second, reached third on the error. Charge to the catcher, Jason Varitek. Upton had struck out on the play, and now the infield in all the way around. It is 1-2 to Evan Longoria. And he will lift it to right in for a base hit. Jennings was headed back to the bag at third, so we got a very late start. Throw's going to be off the mark anyway as he gets in. And the Rays take a 3-2 lead, but Jennings on that line drive to right was standing at third base. He thought it was going to be caught. And Reddick's throw is up the line, and the Rays take a 3-2 lead.
And a nice piece of hitting there by Longoria. He gets a cut fastball that's going to be down and away. And look at that plate coverage by Longoria. Just reaches out and pops it in right field for the base hit. You can see Jennings going back to tag up, but still has time to score. With his speed, the throw is off the mark anyway.
So 2 down in the inning. The bases with a runner at first now for Evan Longoria. Have a runner at first with 1 out. And in there for strike one to Casey Kochman. He singled to right in the first inning, stole a base. He's got 1 of 5 hits tonight for the Rays off Josh Beckett. Kochman has cooled off. On August the 8th, he was hitting at 341, his high water mark on the year. Since then, he's hit at 229 and been held hitless in 15 games since that time. This is to short, could be 2, as Scutaro tags the bag and fires to first. Going to jump over Longoria to get it done. A run for the Rays puts Tampa Bay on top 3-2. Back at Fenway, ready to go in the bottom of the third. Evan Longoria has driven in all the Rays' runs so far as they lead it 3-2. As Dustin Pedroia stands in and takes strike one. Pedroia with a single, driven in a run in the first inning, his 83rd of the year, and scored a run as part of the first. Red Sox tied the game 2-2 then. Shields with a new lead as he takes a hill in the third inning. Well, the veteran and the rookie talking it over in the end of the Red Sox dugout. So 1-1 pitch is in there for strike two, and it's 1-2. Zay Iglesias able to get his first major league hit. One of the only good things to come out of last night's game for the Red Sox, but certainly a thrill for him. A 1-2 pitch. He's in the dirt outside, and it's 2-2. I guess there was a day, Jerry, and you played in that day where a lot of veterans didn't even talk to rookies.
Exactly right. You had to prove yourself.
To center and in for a base hit for Dustin Pedroia. Leadoff single. He is 2 for 2 in this game.
And both base hits for Pedroia coming on the curveball from James Shields. It was a curveball back in the first inning. Pedroia took down the third base line. The curveball again stays out over the plate, and Pedroia to center field for the base hit.
So lead runner on here for the Red Sox for the third straight inning. They had Ellsbury double in the first. He scored. Crawford walked in the second and was left at third base. Now Pedroia is at first. There's Adrian Gonzalez showing bunt and offering. Foul tipped for strike one.
Trying to bunt down that third base line. They got the big shift on Gonzalez. They got Longoria deep at shortstop position. Nobody down the third base line. He's just trying to get any kind of bunt down that line.
Swinging away now and grounds it foul. It's 0-2. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Red Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy would donate $500 to Children's Hospital Boston. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Leadoff single for Dustin Pedroia here in the third inning. Adrian Gonzalez is down 0-2. In the dirt, Jaso blocks it. No advance for Pedroia at first base. Shields dealing with his second batter of the third inning, up to 47 pitches. Nick Swisher has tied it with a double, and then Eric Chavez with a 2-run home run as the Yankees on top now. Sabathia goes after his 20th victory of the year. That misses, and it's 2-2 now.
Shields wanted that. He thought he had a fastball that came back to the corner of the plate. Take a look on the Amica pit zone. Just missing inside.
In the dirt, picked on the backhand by Jaso, and it's a full count.
Pedroia should be off at first base on this 3-2 count with nobody out.
David Ortiz, who already has an RBI single in the game, waits on deck. Pedroia is off. Gonzalez strikes out. The throw is going to be not in time. A little bit off the mark for Jaso. He threw it to the first base side a second. And Pedroia steals second as Gonzalez is struck out for the second time tonight.
Well, the difference here is it's a changeup. It's a changeup for the strikeout, so it takes a little bit longer for the play to develop. And Pedroia to the slide to the right field side of second base. Picks up his 26th steal of the season.
Well, the second steal all year against Shields. So Pedroia at second base, 1 out. Would you say Dustin Pedroia is a good base stealer, even though he doesn't have like the speed that Ellsbury does?
Yeah, absolutely. He knows when to go. Of course, that's a 3-2 count, a little bit different there, but under normal circumstances, he knows his limits, and he knows the guys that he can go against. A little bit different than guys like Jacoby Ellsbury and Kyle Crawford.
Ortiz turns on this, but is out ahead and foul. Well, temperature gauge for David Ortiz, 83 degrees after his single in the first inning. There's 50% of the temperature is calculated using the hitter's last 3 to 4 games, 25% the previous 3 to 4 games, and 25% dates back to the beginning of the season. Swing and a miss, and Ortiz down 1-2.
Well, he started off at 79 degrees, and then after that single off the wall, he jumps.
And the hitter starts the year at 72 degrees. Driven to the gap in right center. That's going to get down and roll. From second base comes Dustin Pedroia to tie the game. Ortiz into second with an RBI double. His second hit, his second RBI. And the game's tied at 3.
The temperature gauge will rise again for David Ortiz, this time more because it's a 2-base hit. He gets the cut fastball down and in and hits a rifle shot. That's going to make its way out toward the Red Sox bullpen. So Ortiz with 2 RBI tonight, 94 total on the season.
Now Josh Reddick swung at the first pitch, first time up, takes ball 1 outside. So tap foul, and it's 1-1. We talked a lot about the temperature gauge, and this is a comparative list. Result values, how it is done by the formula. Home runs, of course, the most at 15, triples at 13, and doubles at 11, and then on down the list. Certainly getting no points for strikeouts or double plays. You put that all together in a formula, and you get the temperature gauge. There's a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
I think my formula never would have got above 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
It would have been very cold a lot of the time.
Very cold. A lot of singles.
Now you start at 72 degrees, Jerry, so that's really cold. 32.
That's very cold.
That's
yeah.
1-2 to Reddick. Is a fly ball to center. B.J. Upton backpedaling and make the catch for the second out of the inning. No advance for David Ortiz. 2 down. Well, tomorrow afternoon, join us for an ACC football doubleheader. Kansas and Georgia Tech kick off the day live at 12:30, followed by Arkansas State and Virginia Tech live at 4.
And we have Jason Veritek,
who went to Georgia Tech.
That's right. A lot of Techs going on.
So 2 down, Ortiz at second, and Marco Scutaro coming up. Ball 1 to Scutaro. Shields a 15-game winner coming into tonight's action with a 2.70 earned run average. Scudero chops it hard to third. Longoria, the throw across to first. It's off the mark, but Kochman with a very nice play. Kept the foot in the bag, reached in front of the runner, and made the grab to end the inning. A run for the Red Sox ties the game 3-3.
First Love, Stand Up. Catch his live performance at Foxwoods Resort Casino December 9th and 10th. Visit foxwoods.com for tickets. Foxwoods is the official resort casino of the Boston Red Sox.
3-3 game as we head to the top half of the fourth inning. Johnny Damon leading it off against Josh Beckett. And it's first pitch strike to Damon. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. This season, NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge. When you switch, call 1-800-DirecTV. In the dirt, Damon gets hit. And down to first base goes Johnny Damon. Begin things here in the fourth inning.
Now Beckett trying to snap off that curveball, gets Damon right in the foot. Right off the top of the foot, and Damon down to first base. Johnny with 15 steals on the season, has been caught 4 times.
Ninth batter Josh Beckett has hit on the season, and lead runner on for the third time in 4 innings for the Rays. Ben Zobrist the batter. Zobrist grounded out to first base in the first inning. Fly ball to left. Crawford headed over. Now comes back as he makes the catch for the first out. Back goes Damon as we check in with Tom Caron for a game break. TC. Okay, Tom, thanks very much here at Fenway Park. A 3-3 game in Game 2 of this 4-game series between the Red Sox and the Rays. Rays winning last night. They had a 2-0 lead out of the gate tonight, but it's a 3-3 game right now. Matt Joyce, the batter, as he takes ball 1. Joyce fouled out in the second inning. Beckett has not walked anybody yet tonight. He has 2 strikeouts through 3 1/3 innings. We heard about the Yankees. Mark Reynolds has homered for the Orioles, and they enjoy a 3-0 lead over the Angels. In the West, the Angels are 3.5 games back of the Texas Rangers to start the night in the American League West. Runner goes, and Damon, a swing and a miss for Joyce. The throw not in time, and Damon steals second base.
Once again, it's the changeup from Josh Beckett, and no chance for Jason Varitek at second base as Damon gets in scoring position with 1 out.
Well, Rays running again tonight. Casey Kochman was able to steal a base in the first inning. Jennings in the third. Now Damon in the fourth. 2-1. Almost hits him inside. 3-1. Rays have had base runners in every inning but the second inning when they went in order. Ball 4, no. Late strike call. Full count. Joyce was headed to first base.
You may have had it right, Don, the first time. Ball looked like it was up and away. It's a changeup from Beckett. That certainly looked like ball 4, but Beckett gets the call.
Swing and a miss. Beckett comes back to strike him out. Third strikeout for Beckett, and there's 2 down.
That time it's the cut fastball from Beckett, down and in on Joyce.
So 2 down here in the fourth inning. Johnny Damon at second base and John Jaso the batter. Jaso struck out swinging in the second inning. One of 3 strikeouts for Josh Beckett in the game. Chop foul to the end of the Red Sox dugout. It's time now for tonight's AT&T trivia question. Prior to Jose Iglesias, who's the last Red Sox to record his first major league hit against Tampa Bay. Jose getting his first major league hit here last night, late in the ball game. Up and away for ball 2, 2-1. Beckett, prior to leaving the game injured last time out against Toronto, he won 3 straight. Kansas City, at Texas, and at home against New York. Two-one pitch from Beckett. And look at Beckett's numbers: 12 wins on the year to 5 losses. He has a team and career high 10 no decisions this year. Allowed 1 run or less and a no decision 6 times. So the run support has truly not been there for him for the most part. He's held opponents to 2 runs or less and no decisions 8 times on the year. Tied with Justin Masterson of the Cleveland Indians for the major league's most. When you're on the road, take some peace of mind with you. AAA roadside assistance can save the day, and your AAA card can help you save every day. Call 1-800-JOIN-AAA or join online at AAA.com. Outfield straight away with 2 outs and Damon at second base at 3-1 to Jaso. And a swing and a miss, full count.
Now Jaso there all geared up for the fastball, didn't get it from Beckett, gets the changeup instead. Ends up helping out Beckett as he chases one out of the strike zone.
Lee Brignac waiting on deck. Damon was hit by a pitch, stole second base. Zobras flied out, Joyce struck out.
Second time in a row that Beckett and Veritek have had difficulty getting on the same page.
Damon takes off for third as Jaso strikes out. Beckett gets him in the high heat. 4 strikeouts for Beckett. Game tied 3-3. Nation, we need medical care at Fenway Park. Visit the Beth Israel Deaconess First Aid Stand behind Section 12. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Visit them at bidmc.org. Hot shot back at Shields, who fields and throws and retires Carl Crawford. Right back at him. So 1 out in the 4th inning.
Living behind enemy lines, unbearable. Monster seats for my 50th birthday, priceless. All right. 75th birthday also out in the monster seats.
1 down in the 4th inning for Jason Veritek. Veritek walked in the 2nd inning. And takes ball 1 inside. Shields has given up 3 hits, rather 5 hits, 3 runs and a couple errors. 1-0 is popped up left side of the infield. Longoria will step into foul ground and make the catch. 2 down in the inning as we send it down to Heidi.
Don, Johnny Damon knows a thing or two about being in a pennant race, and he said the way the Rays are staying loose while being in this race reminds him of another team he was on, the 2004 World Series championship team dubbed the Idiots.
We're all relaxed. We don't want to pack our bags up and all that good stuff and head home for the off season. We want to see where this takes us, and that bunch in 2004 was the right team to come back just because we were so carefree, didn't worry about the outside world. We worried about what was going on inside the clubhouse, and I think that's what made us very successful.
Damon said the team had a meeting at the beginning of September where they said win or lose, they were going to go out and have fun this season, even if they don't make the postseason. Don?
Mike Aviles has homered to put the Red Sox on top 4-3, a ball he crushed off James Shields to give the Sox the lead. Sixth home run of the year for Aviles.
And the first as a member of the Boston Red Sox. He got a high changeup that time from James Shields and jumped all over it, all over the Sports Authority sign. There's the off-speed pitch that stays up in the zone. Shields knows he made a bad pitch, and Aviles with the home run.
Ellsbury now hits a hot shot to short, nicely picked by Brignac. His throw is in time, and that will wrap up the fourth inning. But Mike Aviles has put the Red Sox on top 4-3. Gonzalez to help local families by donating $1,000 for every home run Adrian hits this season to select Habitat for Humanity affiliates in eastern Massachusetts. Well, it is 4-3. The Red Sox on top thanks to Mike Aviles, who crushed the ball to left and did some damage with the Sports Authority sign out there. But all good. Red Sox enjoy a 4-3 lead as leading it off is Reed Brignac. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes ball one. Brignac grounded out to second base in the second inning. This will be the 70th pitch of the night for Josh Beckett. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Hess and Hess Express are proud sponsors of the Red Sox and the Red Sox on Nesson. During the 2011 Red Sox season, Hess and Hess Express will donate $500 to the Pediatric Trauma Program at Children's Hospital Boston for every Red Sox home run. Hess and Hess Express committed to helping the cause. 1-1 to Brignac. He's fouled off to the left, 1-2. On the ground to second base, Pedroia plays the hop to his right and throws out Brignac for the first out of the 5th inning. We had a chance to talk to Terry Francona in between innings. We started with the health of Josh Beckett so far in his return tonight.
No, I mean, even on the first bunt of the game, I mean, he got over okay and everything, and he's executing all his pitches, so that's a good sign.
Tito, with the uncertainty around Kevin Youkilis right now, obviously Avila's coming up big with that home run. Third base, a little bit of a question mark for you.
Yeah, it is, and with Jed not feeling so good with his shoulder, too, you know, we've got to mix and match a little bit, but it makes it heck of a lot easier when Avila's is hitting the ball off the Sports Authority sign.
What would you say the climate of the clubhouse has been the last couple of days?
68, 70 degrees. Nah, you know what? We know where we're at. You know, you can't fake it. I mean, we haven't played well the last 10 days. We know that. We need to play better. I think there's a fine line between caring and, you know, overreacting, so we're trying to not cross that line.
All right, Tito, thanks very much.
All right, Rem.
Line drive base hit into center field for Desmond Jennings with one out here in the 5th, and he is on base for the 3rd time. He's got 3 hits in this game.
Yeah, bunt base hit, a base hit in the 3rd inning also with a stolen base, and now the base hit here in the 5th inning with 1 out. It's a fastball from Beckett, takes it into center field. So again, Jennings a threat to run. The Rays have shown that they want to run in this game tonight.
Jennings at first, 1 out. B.J. Upton 0 for 2. He's fouled out and struck out. Inside, and it is 1-0 now to B.J. Upton, 0 for 2. Chopped down the third baseline, foul, and it is 1-1 for B.J. Upton. Upton hitting at .425 over the last 11 games. 3 home runs mixed in. And really ever since he has slipped into this 2 spot on a regular basis in the Rays order, hitting at .417. As they check on Jennings at first base, back to the bag.
Watching Desmond Jennings over at first base, he really gets himself a good sized lead over there. One that just about every time there's a throw to first base, he has to dive back in.
Beckett is going to wait him out. Now the 1-1 is inside 2-1.
Now we'll see now on the 2-1 count if they send Desmond Jennings at first base. Upton looking down at third base for a sign.
Adam Lind with a 3-run double has given the Jays a 4-3 advantage in Toronto tonight. Runner goes, pitch inside. Throw from Varitek is not going to be in time. Threw it on a hop to Pedroia, who covered, and another stolen base for the Rays, their 4th of the night.
Good pitch to go on. 2 balls, 1 strike. You know they're not going to pitch out, and no problem at all stealing second base for Desmond Jennings, his 2nd of the night. Throw bounces into second base. Jennings almost slides by the bag, but is able to keep contact with it.
Swing and a miss, and a full count. 93 that time, full count. Evan Longoria, who's driven in the 3 Rays runs on the night, waits on deck. Tampa Bay trailing here 4-3 as they bat in the top half of the 5th. Yeah, that's a strike on the outside corner, and B.J. Upton has some stuff to say. Better be careful. Winterstead's already heard enough.
Joe Madden trying to come out quickly and get in between his outfielder and the home plate umpire, as Upton decides just to turn around and go back. But I can understand where Upton would be a little upset with that call.
Fifth strikeout for Beckett. 2 down here in the 5th inning. Longoria takes a pitch up high. A 2-run home run in the 1st for Evan Longoria. An RBI single in the 3rd, and a 3 RBI night for him. 91 now on the season. And he's got a chance here to tie this game. Desmond Jennings at second base with 2 away. 2-0.
One thing the Rays have shown also is they're not afraid to run from second base with 2 outs, because they know how difficult it is to score on a base hit to left field from second base here at Fenway Park. We saw Damon take off last inning.
They will put on Longoria now after Beckett fell behind 2-0. But just in this game alone, the temperature gauge has jumped up to 90 degrees from 75. Intentional walk to Longoria, who heads down to first base.
Hell, he got some big points for that home run back in the 1st inning.
Tonight, following Red Sox coverage, join Randy Scott for Ness and Daily, presented by Sun Life Financial. Jeff Howe discusses the Patriots' upcoming home opener with the Chargers. Plus, Naoko Funayama checks in with the Bruins on their first day of training camp. All this and much more on Ness and Daily tonight, following Red Sox coverage only on Nesson. So 2 on, 2 down, and Casey Kochman is coming up. 2 at bats tonight against Beckett. He is singled and grounded into a double play. Kochman takes strike 1. Beckett starts off ahead. Runners go as Kochman foul tips it at the dish.
Exactly what we were talking about. They're not afraid to go with 2 outs. Man at second base. The double steal attempt. Ball fouled off on a changeup by Kochman. You may draw a bad throw at third base, and all of a sudden a run scores. You almost have the feeling like everybody in the lineup's got the green light tonight for the Rays.
We saw Kochman steal a base earlier in the game, not known for his base stealing abilities, as Beckett has requested the presence of Jason Varitek. Visit the official online shop of the Red Sox at redsox.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the redsox.com shop. 2 on, 2 down here in the 5th inning as Casey Kochman digs back in here, down 0-2. Kochman hits on the ground to second. Pedroia fields. Throws to first for the out. The Rays are stranded bare halfway through this one. It's 4-3 Boston. Is brought to you by Eastern Bank, awarded highest customer satisfaction in retail banking in the New England region 2 years in a row by J.D. Power and Associates. Find out more of what we're made of at easternbank.com. James Shields back on the mound. Red Sox still with a 4-3 lead. Into the bottom of the 5th we go. It's Pedroia, Gonzalez, and Ortiz. Dustin 2 for 2. He's singled twice and scored twice. As he takes strike 1. Outside for ball 2, 2-1. Red Sox got 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Rays 2 in the first, 1 in the third. Here's a ground ball right side to Ben Zobrist, who throws out Pedroia for the first out of the 5th. It's time now for the answer to tonight's AT&T trivia question. Prior to Jose Iglesias, who was the last Red Sox to record his first major league hit against Tampa Bay. And the answer is Lars Anderson. Anderson had a single off X-ray. Matt Garza, the fourth inning of a game last year on September 8th here at Fenway Park. It was one of two hits Anderson had in the game. Iglesias last night becoming the fifth Red Sox ever to record their first hit against Tampa Bay, joining Anderson, Chris Carter, Andy Abad, and Freddie Sanchez. Adrian Gonzalez is 0 for 2 in the game. He struck out twice. Once in the first and once in the third. The 0-1. Shields wanted it. And it is 1-1.
Yeah, I thought he made a good pitch there with the changeup. Thought he had it knee high.
Breaking ball grounded by the mound. The shift is on. This is Brignac, the shortstop. And there's two down in the inning. In Sunday's all-new Ultimate Red Sox show with Heidi Watney, presented by Arbella Insurance, we look back at Tim Wakefield's 200th win, the Dropkick Murphys Fenway appearances, and much more. Catch the Ultimate Red Sox show Sunday at noon. It's been a good night for David Ortiz and really good series. Had a couple of hits last night, and David is 2 for 2 in the game tonight, a single and a double, and he's driven in 2 of the 4 runs the Red Sox have. Ortiz skies one to left center. B.J. Upton is over and under. Puts it away to end the inning. It's an 8-pitch, 1-2-3 fifth for Shields. 4-3 Red Sox on top. Rays.
Well, we worried tonight a little bit about the ankle for Josh Beckett, but so far so good as he moves over on a bunt back in the first inning, and no problems after that, backing up third base a little bit later, and of course recording a strikeout in the outing tonight. So everything seems to be okay with the ankle to this point in the ball game.
4-3 Red Sox on top as we head here to the 6th inning, and Johnny Damon leading it off for the Rays. Swing and a miss for Damon. It's a ball and a strike. Pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5+, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. His next pitch will be the 90th of the night. Outside for ball 2. Always worry about that push-off foot, especially with the ankle of Beckett. But Jerry, it does appear the velocity has been about right tonight.
Yeah, it has. It has. He's had a good breaking ball, good changeup.
This one is into shallow left center and just out of the reach of Scudero. Johnny Damon is aboard for the second time tonight.
Now, the Amica Pit Zone is brought to you by Amica Insurance. Amica Insurance is not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. And 5 strikeouts in the ball game from Josh Beckett, and a variety of pitches, changeups, curveballs. Cut fastball right there. Fastball up and away. And a fastball away to B.J. Upton.
So Damon at first. Ben Zobrist, who is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to first base. Flied out to left. As he takes strike 1. Well, Zobrist leads the team in games played. 145 of 150 games now for the Rays. Leads the Rays in hits. 148 on the year.
And if they keep up the trend at what they're doing, Damon will be taking off at first base at some point in this at bat.
Swinging a foul tip, and it's a 1-2. 4 stolen bases in the game tonight so far for the Rays. 2 for Desmond Jennings. This Copperhead telecaster presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox. Nobody out in the 6th inning for the Rays. Leadoff single for Johnny Damon. Red Sox on top by a run. Ben Zobrist 0 for 2 in the game. Red Sox have action in the pen for the first time. Alfredo Aceves starting to warm up. Zobrist may have gone. They check, and yes, he did. Ringing him up. There's Bob Davidson. 6 strikeouts for Beckett, 1 down.
Beckett going to the curveball to pick up the strikeout. After a couple of throws to first base, snaps off the breaking ball. Zobrist did go. And Beckett picks up the first out of the 6th inning.
1 out, 1 on, and Matt Joyce coming up. Joyce is 0 for 2. Fouled out to first base in the 2nd inning. Struck out swinging in the 4th. 6 strikeouts in the game now for Beckett. He's walked only 1, and that was intentionally walked Longoria in the 5th. Runner goes, and the pitch is a strike. Throw down. Damon will be safe. Stolen base number 5 of the night for the Tampa Bay Rays. And for Damon, his 2nd of the night.
Now, Jason Varitek really doesn't have much of a chance at all on any of these. They're getting the great jumps at first base off Josh Beckett. 2nd stolen base of the night for Damon. 17 on the season. And once again, Beckett's got to work with a man in scoring position.
Rays are 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position in the game. 0 for 2 grounded foul. Immediately following tonight's game, stay with us for WB Mason Extra Innings Live with TC, Jim, and Heidi. Get a breakdown of Josh Beckett's outing, including his take on tonight's performance. Plus, he'll have the manager's perspective in the From the Press Room segment. It's all coming up right after the game on WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Pitch number 100 coming up here for Josh Beckett. And up and away, 1-2. Nineteenth time at 100 or more for Beckett in his 28th start of the season. Had the 11 days off since the injury occurred in Toronto. The 1-2 pitch. Popped up foul. That'll get back and out of play. John Jaso waiting on deck. 1 out. Damon in scoring position at second base. Rays trailing by a run as they bat here in the top of the 6th inning. Damon's taken off for third as Joyce takes a ball, and Damon's got his 3rd stolen base of the night, 2nd of this inning, and now 90 feet away with 1 out.
Damon not a walking lead at second base, just goes from a standstill stance, but has no problem, no throw going to third base. Red Sox pull the infield in with a 1-run lead here in the 6th and 1 out.
Joyce will lift it into shallow center. Ellsbury coming way in to make the catch, and no chance for Damon to try it. That's a big out. 2 down.
Huge out right there for Josh Beckett. Gets that fly ball, but nowhere near deep enough to try to score Johnny Damon from third base.
So Joyce cannot get the job done there. He's out number 2 of the inning. Damon remains at third base. And John Jaso's coming up. He's had a tough time with Beckett tonight. He struck out twice, both times swinging. Tying run 90 feet away with 2 down here in the 6th inning. Beckett peers in for the sign. Breaking ball in the dirt, smothered by Veritek.
Confidence to throw the ball down in the dirt and know that you catch it. Jason Veritek's going to be there for you to block it.
In there for strike 1-1. The Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Two down in the 6th inning. The Rays have the tying run 90 feet away, and Johnny Damon. A count of 1-1 to John Jaso. Bats out of the number 8 spot for the Rays. That is strike 2.
They struck Jaso out twice tonight, once on a changeup, which was like the last pitch, and once on a fastball back in the 4th inning. So if you're Jaso right now, you're saying, which way is he going to go? Going to go to the curveball.
In the dirt, bounced in. Last few have bounced in, and it is 2-2.
Once again, Veritek coming up big with that block on the breaking ball in the dirt, keeping Damon at third base. That hit right off the top of the chest protector. Wants the two-seam fastball inside.
This is up, and it's a full count.
That's the one pitch that really hasn't been there for him tonight. That fastball that he likes to throw inside to left-handers that tails back to the corner. Back to the changeup.
Jaso strikes out for the 3rd time in the game. They leave Damon at third base. 5.5 done, 4-3 Boston.
You know, try to predict things. Sometimes it works.
Find Arbor Coat at your local Benjamin Moore retailer. Something has got Joe Madden fired up here. Hunter Wintelstead, the home plate umpire. I'm not sure if John Jaso continued the conversation when he came out after striking out to end last inning. The catcher for the Rays, but Madden is not pleased with Hunter Wintelstead.
Now, usually if you're arguing balls and strikes, you're out of the game automatically. So there's been a lot of calls that have not gone in the direction tonight of the Tampa Bay Rays. And maybe that's causing this frustration here from Joe Madden. I wonder if Madden's been thrown out of the game. Plate's that wide, he said.
We'll see if Joe heads right down the runway and out.
I would have to say he's been thrown out of the ball game for arguing balls and strikes, as he does head down the runway.
Sixth time that he has been ejected. Last of the sixth inning, Josh Reddick leads it off and takes strike one.
Here's the Beckett strikeout of Jaso, and again, a pitch that's certainly questionable on the outside part of the plate, and that probably caused some yelling from the dugout. And this was one on B.J. Upton earlier in the ball game that, again, didn't go the Rays' way, and I think Madden just frustrated on some of these calls.
Reddick offers at the pitch and is down 1-2. Hunter Wintelstead did eject Joe Madden, so there's a 1-2 pitch. Reddick will foul it off to the left.
Yeah, he must have been ejected before he got out there, because you can't go out and argue balls and strikes. You're automatically out. So he had been ejected before his conversation with Wintelstead.
So is Dave Martinez, who's now the manager right now for the Rays, the bench coach. 1-2 fouled back. One ball, two strikes to Reddick. And a swing and a miss. Shields able to get him. It is the third strikeout for James Shields, first out of the sixth inning. So in between innings, Joe Madden comes out, and the conversation starts off all right with Hunter Wintelstead, but it went south very quickly.
Yeah, he just gave me a quick heave-ho, didn't he?
Yes.
And Joe had to know that, too, because he knows if you're going to go out and argue balls and strikes that you're going to get thrown out of the ball game.
Scudero hits a foul ball down that third base line, very close. In between innings, Terry Francona talking to Josh Beckett, up to 109 pitches. It looks like that is it. So Sevis gets ready for the seventh inning. In there for strike two, and it's 0-2 now to Scudero, who was 0 for 2 in the game tonight. Marco popped out to Casey Kochman at first in the first, grounded out to third base in the third. Tonight for the Red Sox, game number 150 of the year. Kevin Youkilis off tonight and tomorrow. And the Red Sox hoping to get him back soon, but in the meantime, Jerry, there was no doubt last night after his last at bat that he is still truly hurting.
Absolutely, and a couple of signs on this homestand. Him diving for a ball at third base defensively. Some at bats that we've seen from him. I don't think he's feeling any better than what he did before taking that time off.
He'll have the surgery for the sports hernia one way or another at the end of the year. And I would think that you can play through a lot of things, but to me that would be very difficult. Everything you do is sort of affected.
It affects everything you do.
We saw Mike Cameron endure that kind of pain last year for a while until he finally succumbed to the surgery. 2-2 pitch. And it's fouled down by the shoe tops. Six in a row retired by Shields now. And 11 of the last 12 is 2-2. In the air to right center, sending B.J. Upton over to make the running grab back on the base of the track. Let's send it down to Heidi.
Don, it's time for MLB News and Notes, brought to you by HP. The San Francisco Giants' Pablo Sandoval hit for the cycle in Colorado last night. He started with a 2-run homer in the first, a single in the second, double in the fifth, and the triple to complete the cycle in the sixth. And a couple clinching scenarios tonight. The Phillies can clinch their fifth straight NL East title with a win over the Cardinals, along with a loss by the Braves. The Tigers can clinch the AL Central title with a win at Oakland or a loss by the Indians tonight. Don?
All right, Heidi, thanks very much. This is grounded by the mound for Crawford on the run. The throw not in time. Too much speed for Carl Crawford. He's got a 2-out infield hit.
No chance. Once they get by the mound, there was no chance at all they were going to get Carl Crawford at first base. So a 1-for-2 night so far for Crawford. See Shields pointing to his shortstop, but his shortstop, Reed Brignac, had no chance to get that out at first base.
So a 2-out base runner in Carl Crawford. The pinch hitter coming up here for Jason Varitek, Jared Saltalamacchia batting. Varitek tonight had walked and fouled out. Into the shift go the Rays with Zobrist in short right as Saltalamacchia takes a pitch down and in.
Crawford's got to take a chance here, try to get himself in a scoring position for Saltalamacchia.
Red Sox do have a stolen base tonight. It belongs to Dustin Pedroia back in the third inning. Well, the Rays as a team tonight with 5. Johnny Damon's got 2. Desmond Jennings with 2. Throw to first and back to the bag is Crawford. Rays actually have 6 stolen bases. Damon has 3, which ties his career high. 90th pitch for Shields in the night. Here's a 1-0. There goes Crawford. He tries it. The pitch is a ball and the throw not close. It's backed up, and Crawford will not go any further as he steals second base.
Nice to see Crawford being aggressive over there at first base. We know Shields is tough to run on, but he gets a good pitch that's down in the dirt, bounces to Jaso, not even close at second base. By going early in the count now, you also give Saltalamacchia something to work with back there. Instead of being defensive with two strikes on him, he can be patient here with the count 2 balls and no strikes.
18 steals now for Crawford. Ironically, that is just the first steal that he's had against his old team. In there for a strike, and it's 2-1 now to Saltalamacchia. fouled off. 2-2. I want to remind you to get one of the best sports sections in the country delivered to your home every day. Sign up now for convenient Boston Globe home delivery at bostonglobe.com/sports. Two outs in the bottom of the sixth inning. Carl Crawford at second base. Jared Saltalamacchia pinch hitting with a count of 2-2. To left, Jennings is there to make the catch on the liner that ends the inning. We played 6 from Fenway in Game 2. Red Sox have a 4-3 lead. The holidays do what the Red Sox did. Turn to Frank Webb's Bass Centers, the FW Webb showroom, to gather all the information you need. Find your showroom at frankwebb.com. It's 4-3. Red Sox on top of the Rays. We've got a new battery going on right now for the Red Sox as Jared Saltalamacchia pinch hit for Jason Varitek. He's in the game now and doing the catching. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by New England Ford Dealers. Alfredo Aceves into the game after 6 innings from Josh Beckett. Aceves appearing in game number 49 of the year. 9-2 with the 2.85 earned run average. Opponent's hitting at 203 against Aceves. It'll be Reed Brignac, Desmond Jennings, and B.J. Upton to bat here in the 7th inning. Brignac 0 for 2. He's done the same thing twice. It's ground out to Dustin Pedroia at second base. Outside ball 2-0. Broken bat foul down by the tarp, and it's 2-1. The pitching line tonight for Beckett: 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs. 2 of them are earned runs. He walked 1. That was intentionally. And he struck out 7, and Jerry, there's really no effects at all that we could see throughout the night. Everything appeared to be there for Beckett, and certainly a great sight.
Yeah, exactly right, Don. And the great sign on there, after a little bit of a layoff, no walks for him. The one intentional walk, of course, but other than that, no walks and the 7 strikeouts.
He leaves with a lead and a chance to grab his 13th win of the year. Came in at 12-5. There's a 2-1 to Brignac. In the air to center. Back goes Ellsbury, and he'll make the running grab for the first out of the 7th inning. On Tuesday, the final week of competition begins on AT&T School. Nesson's College Face-Off, presented in part by your local Chevy dealers. BC and Maine are set to square off in our first semifinal on Tuesday night after Red Sox coverage. Visit Nesson.com/schooled for more. I thought the Red Sox season went quickly. This has gone very fast.
It has,
right
yes.
to the semifinal.
But they're very smart kids. That's why.
1 out in the 7th inning for Desmond Jennings. It's ball 2 as Sebas falling behind 2-0. Sebas last worked in the Toronto series, going an inning. He has a 1.48 ERA in his last 12 outings. It's ball 3, 3-0. He's given up 4 earned runs in his last 24 1/3 innings. Here's ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk. So Jennings, who has been on now 4 times. It's time now for the look of the road ahead, brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Tomorrow the Sox and Rays move to Fox, but Sunday's series finale is back on Nesson. Finale will feature David Price taking on Tim Wakefield. Price is just 12-12 in the season, but is over the 200 strikeout mark for the first time in his career. Wakefield is coming off his 200th career win. 21 of those have come against Tampa Bay. Nesson's live coverage begins Sunday at 12:30 with Red Sox first pitch. 1 out, 1 on. B.J. Upton, the batter, as he takes ball 1. He was very displeased his last time up on a called strike 3. In fact, he struck out twice, and both times have been called strike 3s by Wintelstead. And some not pleased Rays tonight with the strike zone, and that includes their manager, Joe Madden, who has been ejected. One thing the Rays have done tonight, 6 stolen bases in the game, and Jennings has got 2 of them. In there for strike 1.
2 call strikeouts on B.J. Upton. That one was a good pitch. This one appeared to be a little bit outside. The one that Upton disagreed with the most.
Tough numbers for Upton against Sevas. Fouled off to the right, and it's 1-2. Dunkin' Donuts is in its 13th year of hosting local youth groups and charitable organizations in the Dunkin' Dugout. Special seating section at Fenway Park. Thousands of children have had the chance to catch a Red Sox home game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Enjoying a 4-3 Red Sox lead right now here in the 7th inning with 1 out. Desmond Jennings with his normal pretty big lead at first base. Popped up, should reach the seats. Gonzalez headed over, but no play. So the Red Sox are into their pen here in the 7th inning. On the other side, James Shields at 94 pitches through the first 6 innings.
Jennings may be going on this 1-2 count.
Sevis holding the baseball. And time finally called. Don't forget to follow Nesson on Twitter to be part of every game's conversation. Coming up next half inning, going to take a look at what you've had to say about tonight's game so far in the Twitter world. So stay tuned. See if your tweet will be seen right here on Nesson. 1-2. The swing and a miss. B.J. Upton is struck out for the 3rd time tonight.
Upstairs by design for the Red Sox. They've been trying to go upstairs with 2 strikes against B.J. Upton. That time Aceves gets it above the belt and picks up the strikeout.
So 2 down, runner at first base, and Evan Longoria the batter. Homered in the first, had an RBI single in the 3rd, then intentionally walked in the 5th inning. So he's been on base 3 times in this game. As he takes ball 1 just off the outside edge. Away, and it's 2-0. Longoria started the year on the DL. He missed a total of 26 games in the middle of May, and he's had 47 RBIs in the last 49 games. Some tough numbers for him as well against Aceves. He's got since June 20th led the majors in RBIs.
And you better be careful here because he may have the green light on the 3-0 pitch.
Ball 4, and he'll head down to first base. Second time that he's been walked in this game. 2 walks in the inning, allowed by Alfredo Aceves. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. This season, NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge when you switch. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Young out to the mound to talk to Aceves. There is action in the Red Sox pen. Daniel Bard is about to throw his first pitch out there. He just did get up. Looks like Franklin Morales is going to join him. Ray's pen is quiet. Shields has gone the first 6 and thrown 94 pitches. 2 on and 2 outs for Casey Kochman. Takes ball 1 inside.
Now maybe the questioning by Joe Madden may have helped a little bit. Very close pitch right there to Casey Kochman.
Aceves trying to work his way around 2 walks in the inning. Coming up after the game, it's Granite City Electric's Red Sox final with TC, Jim, and Heidi. We'll have a final word from Fenway and preview the remaining 2 games in the season series with the Rays. Plus highlights from the Yankees series opener with the Blue Jays. CC Sabathia looks for win number 20 of the year. It's all coming up right after the game, and it's only on Nesson. Sevis will fire to second base and appeared to be to the surprise of Marco Scutaro, who barely made the grab.
It was a surprise to Marco Scutaro. He was not headed at all in that direction as he's standing behind him, and then almost lost sight of the baseball once it got between him and the run of Jennings at second base. That could have been a disaster.
Marco doesn't get over there, and that's in center field. The 1-0 to Kochman. He was grounded hard and foul. And away, and it is ball 2, 2-1. Berniak lined out to begin the inning. Jennings walked. B.J. Upton struck out swinging. Evan Longoria walked, and Rays have 2 on with 2 outs in the 7th. Ball 3, 3-1. Grabbed the corner and they called it a strike. 2-2. Johnny Damon waits on deck. Deuces wild on the scoreboard and left. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 down. 2 men on here for Tampa Bay, and Kochman asks for time and backs out. Strike 3 call. The Sevis out of the jam. The Rays strand a pair. Coming up for the Red Sox, it'll be Aviles, Ellsbury, and Pedroia. Let's check in with your Need to Know with NESN Daily, presented by Sunlight Financial. Here's Randy Scott. Tampa Bay Rays as the Red Sox come to bat here in the bottom of the 7th. Trying to grab some insurance here. James Shields out there for his 7th inning. As Aviles homered off him in his last at bat. A swing and a miss for strike 1. Aviles with his first home run in a Red Sox uniform earlier. Takes the breaking ball for ball 1.
Well, the fastball from Aceves right down the middle of the plate to pick up the strikeout against Casey Kochman. And a little fist pump for Aceves as he makes his way to the Red Sox dugout.
Breaking ball that fooled Aviles. He almost ducked into it. And it's 1-2.
Well, I tell you all the time, Don, how you time bunts on fastballs. He wanted to bunt that time, but he didn't get the fastball.
Swing and a miss, but it gets away. Jaso will not have a play. Guns it down there, but Aviles able to beat it out. Strikes out, but he'll reach.
Well, Aviles has certainly been part of this game tonight. No question about it. A home run. He strikes out here, but the ball gets by John Jaso. And Aviles, noticing that, hustles down the first base line and beats it out.
Wild pitch gets Aviles to first base to begin things in the 7th. Double-barreled action. Brandon Gomes, a right-hander. Cesar Ramos is the left-hander. As Ellsbury stands in, a double for Jacoby back in the first inning. Throw to first, gets away, hits Aviles, and kicks towards the Red Sox dugout. Aviles will get to second. I think that throw over hit him directly.
First the wild pitch, now the error by Shields throwing to first base. Looks like it did get a piece of Aviles and went to the Red Sox dugout.
Error charge to Shields. Pitching line brought to you by your Boston area Lexus dealers. Shields 6+, 4 runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Down and in to Jacoby Ellsbury.
Ellsbury looking for something now that he can pull. Nobody out, man at second base.
On the ground towards first, Kochman will tag the bag for the first out as Aviles takes third base. Well, share the game with your fellow Sox fans by following Nesson on Twitter. Let's see what some of you had to say about the game tonight. Happy about the home run for Aviles. And certainly a good outing for Josh Beckett tonight. Be sure to include the hashtag Red Sox for your tweets to be considered.
Infield pulled in now for the Rays with the 1 out. Aviles at third base, Pedroia at the plate.
Pedroia down the right field line, foul. Heston singled in the first, scored a run. Singled in the third and scored a run. And grounded out in the 5th. Shields up over 100 pitches now at 101 with 1 out in the 7th. Breaking ball missing inside, and it is 2-1 now to Pedroia. swing and a miss, 2-2.
Good pitch there by Shields. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pedroia sitting all over fastball. He doesn't get it. He gets the changeup from James Shields.
Pedroia grounds it foul and behind Aviles down the third base line, and will do it again, 2-2. Two for 12 are the Rays, 3 for 9 are the Red Sox, with runners in scoring position on the night. Red Sox were just 1 for 9 in that category last night in the loss. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, full count.
That's 3 straight changeups he's thrown Pedroia, trying to put him away.
Lined, caught, and turned into a double play in one move. Evan Longoria makes the grab, then tags the bag to end the 7th inning. The Red Sox do not score, but lead it 4-3.
Boston Red Sox.
Well, how about that last play by Evan Longoria? He's been a major part of this game. He's got 3 RBIs, and now he takes a run away from the Red Sox. A line drive, catching it in the glove, and the glove takes it right to the bag for the double play.
James Shields, his starter, certainly appreciative of the play at third base. Johnny Damon leads it off in the 8th, and Damon takes a pitch inside. Daniel Bard into the game for the Red Sox, his 65th appearance. He is 2-8 with 3.11 earned run average. The ERA has really jumped And he has 68 strikeouts and 66 and 2/3 innings. Damon broken bat foul, and it's 1-1. In the last 3 appearances, Bard has seen his ERA jump a full run. .16 career appearances against the Rays. He's given up only 2 runs. He gave up 3 runs and 2 earned in the 8th inning Wednesday against Toronto. His 5th blown save and 8th loss of the year. It's most losses for Red Sox relievers since 2001 when Derek Lowe lost 10 games. Swing and a miss. The slider, and it's 1-2.
A little more bite to that slider than we've seen recently from Daniel Bard. Not quite as wide, but sharp.
Johnny Damon has been on twice tonight, hit by a pitch, singled, 3 stolen bases in the game tonight. And his 400th career stolen base earlier last week. It's hit again. 2nd time tonight. As he was struck in the 4th and hit here, so he'll head down to first base. He's saying that he was swinging.
Yes.
And he is out. Strike 3. Went around, they appealed to check it out, and they said he offered. Johnny's stunned to find that out. He's out number 1.
Definitely hit by the pitch, but also the swing by Johnny Damon. Or was it a swing by Johnny Damon? Very close call.
Bob Davidson, third base umpire, ringing him up. 1 out in the 8th. Ben Zobrist, the batter. He takes ball 1. Zobrist grounded out in the 1st, flied out to left in the 4th, and struck out swinging in the 6th. Who had a couple of walks in that last outing against Toronto. Very strangely, 2 walks in the inning, they became very costly as he falls behind here 3-0. The Orioles beat the Angels tonight 8-3. It's a final from Camden Yards. There's a strike, and it's 3-1. No success for Zobrist against Bard in his career, 0 for 5. That's strike 2. Battled back-to-back fastballs at 97 miles an hour.
And once again, Zobrist questioning that last call. Everything up and away from Zobrist to this point in this at-bat.
Morales has been joined by Papelbon in the pen. Ball 4, and he walks him. Down to first base goes Zobrist as we send it down to Heidi.
Don, Daniel Bard has taken the loss in his last 3 appearances. He has a 30.86 ERA over those 3 appearances. Now, Terry Francona was asked if Bard's recent struggles would lead the team to change the way that they use him, and Francona said they can't.
I don't think we can win without Bard being Bard. I remember, last year I think it was this time everybody wanted Bard to be the closer. You know, we stuck with Pap, and he's done okay. I think there's certain players that we better figure it out as opposed to running from guys. I think we believe in Daniel so much that we'd like to. I hope he gets the situation again.
Now, Bard said he identified some mechanical issues with his delivery and that he would fix it. He said he's had times before in his career that he's struggled, and he knows he can get back on track. The Sox certainly hope that's tonight. Don?
All right, Heidi, thank you very much. Well, he's in this spot again as this is fouled off down by the shoe tops, and he set the bar so high and has been so consistent over the years. Anytime there's any kind of hiccup, you go, wow, what's wrong with Daniel Bard?
Yeah, it's surprising anytime he doesn't have a clean inning. Right now, he's got a man at first base, and Zobrist that has 17 steals on the season.
Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
There's a pitch we have not seen very much of from Bod recently, and that's the changeup.
Fastball at 97, the changeup that time at 90. One out, one on here in the 8th. Goes around and strikes out. 2 down. Second strikeout for Bard.
Bard back to the slider. Changeup followed by the slider to pick up the strikeout. Second time Joyce has struck out tonight.
So 2 down. Zobrist at first base, and John Jaso, the batter, he struck out 3 times in the game tonight. Well, that was against Josh Beckett. So it's 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. There is strike 1. Straightens him up with ball 1, 1-1. Beckett for 6, giving up 3 runs, 2 earned. Alfredo Aceves pitches the 7th inning, walks 2, but strikes out 2 and does not give up a run. Bard with a 1-out walk, but now has struck out Joyce, who's got 2 outs here in the 8th. Young on the phone. Papelbon warming with Morales. Strike over the inside corner. And Bard jumps ahead 1-2. Jaso strikes out for the 4th time tonight as Bard strikes out the side. We head for the bottom of the 8th inning. Boston on top 4-3. Bard again. Red Sox trying to grab some insurance. James Shields back on the mound again. He's thrown 106 pitches for the first 7 innings. And it's Adrian Gonzalez who leads it off in the 8th. And takes strike 1 over the inside corner. Adrian 0 for 3. He struck out twice tonight and grounded out. Bounced in, ball 2, 2-1. Shields working into the 8th inning here. And the 2-1 pitch. High and tight, 3-1. Same pair that was up last inning, up again. Ramos and Gomes warming in the pen. Outside, leadoff walk for Adrian Gonzalez to begin the 8th. It's time now for the flamethrower, brought to you by Cholula Hot Sauce. The hot sauce, the iconic wooden cap, and a great sight for Red Sox Nation. As Bard comes in, he strikes out Johnny Damon for the first out of the 8th inning. As he went around, he also got hit. The walk and then the strikeout to Matt Joyce, followed by John Jaso, who strikes out for the 4th time in the game. Hits him on the slider to end the 8th. Well, Shields worked his way into the 8th, but he will not continue. Dave Martinez, the acting manager, out to make the pitching change here with nobody out in the 8th inning, and the Red Sox on top 4-3. Responsible for Gonzalez at first. It's a 4-3 Red Sox lead, and David Ortiz stands in and takes ball 1, kicks off Jaso, but he'll run it down. Cesar Ramos into the game here for the Rays. His 54th appearance, 0-1, 3.79 ERA. Opponent's hitting at .218 against him. He's been warming up over the last 2 innings. Swing and a miss. David's had 2 hits tonight, a single in the first, a double in the third. He's driven in 2 runs. Flied out to center field in the 5th inning. Gets jammed and pops it up. Chaso, the catcher, discards the mask and puts it away for the first out of the inning.
Well, Josh Reddick getting called back. A right-hander coming out of the Red Sox dugout. We'll see if this brings another move by the Tampa Bay Rays.
Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Eastern Bank. I believe something as simple as your checking account shouldn't come with a lot of strings attached. Eastern Free Checking. See just how good a checking account can feel. It is Connor Jackson who has been introduced, and here comes Dave Martinez to make the change. So back and forth they go. It is 4-3. Red Sox on top of the Rays. The pitching change from Fenway Park. Gomes coming in. Sox Talk on the radio home for Boston Red Sox baseball now at 93.7 FM. Join Dennis and Callahan weekday mornings at 6 across the WEI Sports Radio Network and, of course, right here on NESN. New pitcher into the game. Brandon Gomes, his 33rd appearance, 2-1 with a 3.41 earned run average. He earned the win against the Red Sox last Saturday. The last 4 outs of the game. This is on the ground and thrown to left field for Connor Jackson. First hit as a member of the Red Sox for Connor Jackson as Adrian Gonzalez takes second base.
Connor Jackson gets a little slider that time from Gomes. Not exactly crushed, but finds a good hole between third and short for the base hit. Pinch runner at first base looks like Darnell McDonald running for Connor Jackson.
So Connor Jackson with a good base hit here as Darnell takes over for him at first base. 2 on, 1 out for the Red Sox here in the 8th. And Marco Scutaro coming up. Scutaro has popped out, grounded out, and flied out. 0 for 3 in the contest as he takes strike 1. J.P. Howell warming now for the Rays in the pen. Jose Molina with a walk-off single in the 9th inning for Toronto. The Blue Jays win at 5-4 over the Yankees tonight. Adrian Gonzalez at second. Darnell McDonald at first. Popped up. Jaso coming back. And he makes the catch. Second catch that he has made in foul ground in this inning, and there's 2 down.
And we may have another pitching change with Kyle Crawford coming to the plate.
Dave Martinez to make the change. 4-3, Red Sox on top. (4-3) Red Sox on top of the Tampa Bay Rays. Runners at first and second, 2 down for Boston as Carl Crawford stands in. And take strike 1 from J.P. Howell. Howell, the 4th pitcher used in the inning. His 43rd appearance, 2-3 with a 6.44 earned run average. Opponent sitting at .239 against Howell. Tap foul and Crawford down 0-2. Don't forget, coming up immediately after the game, to stay with us for WB Mason Extra Innings Live. It's all the post-game coverage you'll need right here on NESN. Gonzalez at second base. Darnell McDonald pinch running at first base. 2 down in the 8th. On the ground, knocked down by Kochman. Trying to score is going to be Adrian Gonzalez. To throw to the plate, he will be out. As Kochman got to it quickly, Adrian's gunned down at the plate to end the 8th. Red Sox cannot score. It's 4-3. Papelbon will be coming in for the 9th. For the Rays tonight, Evan Longoria with a 2-run home run in the first. They would review this, but decided it was indeed a home run, a 2-run shot, and a good start for the Rays. However, the Red Sox come back, take the lead on a home run. First in a Red Sox uniform for Mike Aviles, his 5th home run of the season, as the Red Sox got very good pitching. The return for Josh Beckett after 11 days off, and the ankle problem pitched very well tonight. Has a chance to pick up his 13th win of the year as he came in at 12-5, and tonight went 6 innings. We have seen Aceves come in, 1 shutout innings. Daniel Bard come in for an inning, 1 shutout inning. And the Red Sox will have Papelbon coming on for the ninth. Darnell McDonald is in right field as Reddick was pinch hit for, and here is Papelbon, his 59th appearance of the year, 4-0 with a 2.61 earned run average, 29 out of 30 in save opportunities, 77 Ks to 10 walks, and opponents hitting at just 194. It's Dan Johnson who steps in here on the left side and pinch hits for Reed Brignac. Brignac had been 0 for 3 in the game. And takes strike 1 over the inside corner. Papelbon, 21 scoreless innings over his last 20 games, dating back to July 17th. It's the longest active scoreless inning streak in the major leagues, and the second longest career single season scoreless stretch for Jonathan. Johnson fouls it back and is down 0-2.
Back-to-back fastballs from Papelbon to start off Johnson. The last one at 96 and elevated.
The 0-2 pitch to Dan Johnson. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on 3 pitches.
Well, the last 3 outs for the Red Sox have come on strikeouts. Slider from Bard back in the 8th inning, and now fastball from Papelbon here in the 9th.
The 500th career strikeout for Jonathan Papelbon. That's 6 outs for the Red Sox, all by way of the K. 1 out in the 9th as Desmond Jennings bats. Strike 1, more fastballs. A reminder to stay with us for Granite City Electric's Red Sox final. Complete post-game coverage coming up after the game from our Nesson studios. 1 out in the 9th inning. Desmond Jennings down 0-1. Red Sox trying to hold on to a 1-run lead. They're trying to take a 4-game lead right now in the playoff chase. Swing and a miss, 0-2. 5 pitches, all strikes for Papelbon.
And if the Red Sox hold on, also pick up a game against the Yankees.
Fouled off to the right, still 0-2. Jennings has been on base 4 times in the game, 3 hits and a walk. And trying to find a way on here in the 9th with 1 out. struck him out. 97 on the fastball, back-to-back Ks for Papelbon, 2 down in the ninth.
He has had so many strikeouts this year against right-handers, throwing them away. He goes away from Desmond Jennings to pick up the strikeout, his second of the inning. All fastballs so far from Papelbon.
Two outs in the ninth inning for B.J. Upton, who has gone 0 for 4 in the game and has already struck out 3 times. It's been a big strikeout night for Red Sox pitching. Beckett had 7, a Sevas 2, Bard 3. 2 so far for Papelbon. 14 in the game for Boston. This is on the ground and by the dive of Gonzalez into right. And B.J. Upton is on with 2 outs in the ninth. Late swing at a fastball, and he just gets it down the line.
Fastball again, this time up and away, and Upton right down that first base line. Gonzalez playing off the line, goes into the dive, can't make the play. So speed at first base and a very dangerous hitter at the plate.
So it gives Evan Longoria a chance as Saltalamacchia out to talk to Papelbon. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, Toyota's official website for deals by Toyota.com. Bermuda Tourism, Sullivan Tire, and by your local Mazda dealer. 2 outs. B.J. Upton is at first base, representing the tying run. Evan Longoria, the batter. Longoria swinging at the first pitch, fouls it off to the right. He has been on 4 times tonight. A home run, a single, intentional walk, and a walk. Longoria 1 for 7 in his career against Papelbon at 143. Longoria pops it up, foul ground over is Gonzalez by the dugout, but no play. 0-2 the count, a broken bat for Longoria.
Papelbon this time coming inside to Longoria to get the pop-up just out of the reach of Adrian Gonzalez.
Two outs in the ninth. B.J. Upton, the tying run at first. Fenway Park standing is 1, with Papelbon ahead of Evan Longoria, 0-2. Fouled off again.
Once again, Papelbon coming inside, trying to jam Longoria.
The outfield position deep and straight away on Evan Longoria. The Rays take game 1 of the series, trailed by a run with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the ninth. The 0-2 pitch from Jonathan Papelbon.
Might be a slider.
Runner goes. It is in the dirt, and taking second base and into scoring position goes B.J. Upton. The stolen base for Upton, and it is the 7th stolen base of the night for the Rays.
No contest that time for B.J. Upton stealing second base. Picks up his 30th of the season.
Longoria backs out. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the Red Sox win. Papelbon elevates with the fastball, and the Red Sox win Game 2 of the series. Much needed against the Rays tonight. For Papelbon, a milestone here tonight as he grabs his 30th save.
Papelbon going upstairs with the fastball to pick up the strikeout. Huge win for the Red Sox tonight. A lot of good things happening for the Red Sox in this ball game tonight. The fact that Beckett came back and pitched very well. Daniel Bond came back and pitched very well. Papelbon closing it out. Mike Aviles filling in at third base, getting that home run. Huge.
Bob's Discount Furniture will be stepping up to the plate again for the Jimmy Fund this season. Bob's Discount Furniture will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon for every Red Sox game saved. So far this season, Bob's Discount Furniture has donated a total of $34,000 to the Jimmy Fund. Standings now, the Red Sox or the Yankees lost tonight, 3.5 games back of the Yankees. The Yankees' magic number is 10, and the Red Sox, with the win, get a little breathing room. A 4-game lead now over the Rays with the magic number 9 for Boston. Final score again, 4-3. Red Sox win from Fenway Park. For Jerry Remy and Heidi Watney, I'm Don Rosillo saying good night. Join us again Sunday afternoon for the series finale with the Rays. Pitching matchup, Tim Wakefield against David Price. Live coverage from Yawkey Way begins at 12:30. This has been a presentation of NESN, New England's most watched sports network. Let's send it now to the NESN Television Center. Here's Tom Caron.